So what's up everybody, it's me, True Star Screamer, and we're here with yet another, surprise surprise, G.I. Joe Classified Series review. Because we all know these guys all came out at once, so they all got shipped to me at once. And we are looking at the SAW Viper, semi-automatic weapon. There's a lot of different definitions I've seen for this guy. But either way, it's another Viper, that's how I look at it. And being troop builders, they're my bread and butter. Great little artwork on here. This is number 147. Again, I love this photography here on the back. And yeah, this is... listen, I really like Xandar. So far, Classified Series is starting off pretty strong. So let's get enough talking and get this guy out of the package and see... Is this going to be another sleeper hit, basically? Here is the SAW Viper out of the package. And this is an incredibly ambitious figure. They are trying to do a lot here. And I absolutely commend the Hasbro design team on what they were trying to do. I think they've executed maybe 89% of what they're trying 89% of what they're trying to do. And at the same point, it's also a victim of its own ambition. I'll cut to the chase. If you're looking for a couple guys to sit in the background with a big old machine gun, boom, there you go. You have him. Get yourself. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second here. We will absolutely talk about that for a second. But get yourself a couple of these guys here. Get yourself some guy to be your some cool specialized guy to be your squad leader, having them flanking them. I want to buy myself another Agent Venom just to turn him into a Joe, or a Cobra Trooper, I know it. But I mean, that works. So this guy is nowhere near oozing main character energy. He is definitely a background guy to come in, cause some chaos, and that's about it. So with that, execution, there you go. As a figure unto itself, though, like I said, it's trying to do a lot. And with the exception of a few things, I think they executed it all right. First of all, the accessories here. He has them all on him. That I absolutely love. So I'll disassemble him in a second, but he has all his gear on him. One thing I might recommend doing is taking a hairdryer to the hands just to make it easier to put this big old gun in them, because it is a Hasbro gummy gun. The gun itself, well, let's take them apart and kind of go over everything. So the SAW Viper's main weapon comes in a couple components. We've got the backpack, which is really, it's better than I thought it would be, because it does have two coats of paint on here. You know, we've got the ammo bag here. It's got a cool carrying handle, so if he does need to get it refilled with ammo. There's this peg on here. I don't quite know what that's for, because on the main gun there is not a peg hole for it to attach to. Just gotta say that. So we've got the ammo feed belt, which plugs into both the backpack and the gun pretty well, so that's good. We got the ammo drum that just slides in there, and friction's pretty decent. Then we got the chainsaw bayonet. This, as you saw, it knocks out pretty easy. Probably a little bit of kiki, a little bit of nail polish. You could absolutely get that to fit better, but no, it does not. It fits in with the minimalist of friction. So it's there, but it does knock off pretty easy. I want to talk about this because this is absolutely silly. You stand up. As you can see, that's a problem. But this is silly. But they're just putting a SAW for the SAW Viper. And I know, the SAW is about the semi-automatic weapon. But it's stupid fun. And that's what this is all about. This really is about stupid fun. Since the bayonet is removable, it actually does have its own trigger, so he can hold it and use this for hand-to-hand. The actual heavy gun, yeah, it's a little gummy, especially on the handle and the barrel. It does have a hole for an effect. I do like that the handle is a separate piece, so it does have some flexibility. And oh god, of course, I would have loved to have had some more paint on this. I also would have liked to have had an effect for this. I really think that would have completely sealed the deal on here. This is nowhere near the same class as the Valaverse Vulcan cannon. I want to say that right now. The Valaverse one is great. I've got three of them. Well, actually, I've got two of the weapon packs that have them, and I've got a couple bone collectors. So it's a fantastic weapon, and it is superior to this. I'm going to blatantly say that. But this is, for what it is and who it's coming from, isn't that bad. Yes, it could be better, though. Also, we have the Viper himself. He does come with a knife, which I would have loved some paint on the blade, or paint on the handle, just to kind of differentiate between the two. And he does have a pistol. Also has an effect port, and it's got your clip in there. And this is exactly how I like a character to be geared up. Got the big special weapon, finally runs out of ammo, comes to a place he can't use it, he still can protect himself. This is an ideal soldier. Helmet is removable. It's just on by friction. It is soft plastic. The neck collar is removable, which I thought is kind of interesting. So you can actually get a different look, and I like that he's got the radio gear sculpt to it. That is actually something very, very cool. This is absolutely one of the times I really wish Hasbro would have been copying off Bobby Vala's designs, because I would have loved to have this vest to be removable. This vest does absolutely 100% hinder articulation, but it is a big, bulky, armored vest. In real life, that would be hindering a human being's articulation. He's got the armor shoulder pads, which does kind of slide down, unfortunately. I could probably shim that with something, but because of that design, it does not affect most of its articulation. Again, he's got all this gear on, and in real life, that would be making somebody hindered in movement. It is nice. It is very nice, though, and I hope to see some of these pieces reused for future soldiers. So he's got armor on his shoulders, forearms, thighs, and calves. Everything else is then basic Joe articulation, double jointed knees, drop down hip, yada, 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 but that's where things get coming. He just starts slipping apart, unfortunately. You can do variations of having the armored collar, obviously without the armored collar, with or without the helmet. So if you have multiple ones of these, you could absolutely make them different, which I think is pretty neat. And it gives it a little bit more life to it. I probably will be looking forward to reuse of that operator head underneath of it, by the way. And the overall look is concise. So I gotta point that out. It is a good look to it. I also really like the fact by removing some of that gear, it does in some way feel like a different character. So when I do it like this, he has a little more, well, frankly, main character energy. He's broken down, again, he's in the midst of the Joes, his big heavy cannon is out of ammo, and now he's just in the thick of it, doing what he's got to do. And I actually really like that effect on a figure, and it just gives a little bit of character and flexibility to it. Kind of feel like I'm back to ground zero with this pose again, because that's still the most effective way. So with messing with his figures, found a couple more things that kind of ding it on there. The handle here is actually, well, also with the backpack he's back heavy, and keep that in mind. So the handle here is actually not even pinned through. It's basically like a giant C thing, if that makes sense. It's got two little divots, and that has two little holes in there, so they kind of hold it into place. I definitely think I would have preferred if there was a C clamp in here and that was a single pin, because that would have definitely kept a firmer grip on the handle into the main gun itself. So, because as you manipulate it, it does make it very easy for that to pop out. I mean, in theory, that also prevents breakage, but if it was a thicker plastic in general, I think that would have held a little better. The armor, my number one pet peeve is the fact the armor keeps slipping out of place. Hands down. As manipulating it, you got to keep pushing the armor back into where it needs to be. Again, an effect piece would have gone miles with this. I mean, they got this, and again, I've got those effect pieces. I've got them. They came with the Vipers. They came with the Valkyries. I've got them. But I think if you hadn't bought those, just one gun burst or the bullets that go, in a pattern really would have set this figure off just right for that display. But he's going to display fine. That's the thing. He's absolutely fine. And that's the big thing about it. He will look good. I look forward to seeing how they're going to reuse a lot of these parts. Again, I like how the collar is removable. I think that may have came with... oh god, what's his name? It came with the bomb detector. I don't remember. I like the helmet, and I really look forward to seeing how the operator head's used again. So just a lot of nice things about it. So of course, if you're doing the army build, I do recommend him. Again, the Cobra figures especially, they knock the army builders right out of the park. I don't think I've come across one I really don't care for, to be honest. Except for maybe that Night Trooper that came in the 2-pack, but that whole 2-pack I said was forgettable. But let me know your thoughts down below. Did you pick yourself a couple Saw Vipers? I mean, do you need one to wipe out your squad of Joe characters just because they got tired of writing them in there? Especially, that was a rough issue. They killed Quick Kick in that issue, if I recall. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because that's what they're for. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a like. And as always, we got a lot of cool stuff coming about. I will be on this Thursday on a Punk with Toys. Check out his channel. I will be on his Thursday with a friend. I'm usually, as always, on Thursdays on Figure Action. But most importantly, as always, until next time, take care. Peace.